debate between Marc Lamont Hill and a dude from Project 2025. So I'm already getting tired. I've been doing this for an hour. I'm gonna try to max out on 2 hours. So we'll see.
2024 presidential campaign. The sweeping conservative policy blue. The project obviously drew significant attention, especially during last year's presidential campaign. People use the word, but I'm not sure they always know what it is. What exactly is Project 2025?
Sure, and I could even back up a little bit. I am a lawyer by training, always in private practice, so I'm not a politician. But what had happened was I was always very much a admirer of Donald Trump and his work, and my family's from New York City initially, so they saw Trump and really take back the city and build it to greatness again. I served in the first Trump administration, and I saw how difficult it is for an outsider to come into government. So when I joined Project 2025, we had left power and the conservatives were disarrayed. And the hope there was to really take this moment and retool, to bring people together to kind of get on one page. And that's what Heritage had done. Heritage is a think tank. So they provide advice to people in government. Yeah. And this was a real ability to reach across.
So the guy basically admitted that this was created for Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has been benefiting a lot from it. He's done a lot of things in Project 2025 and in his administration.
Various parts of the conservative spirit and build something that would enable the next conservative president, when he or she went into office, to have a kind of an assembled group of people who now better understood how to work in government and had some alignment.
A major area of alignment between Trump and Project 2025 is the overhaul of the federal government, which of course was spearheaded by Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency. You have previously criticized unelected bureaucrats, elites, and quote, big tech oligarchs. But you praised Elon Musk. You said that he was sort of key to implementing this part of Project 2025. Do you stand by your support of Musk?
The central premise here, and I do, of course, the central premise of Project 2025 was deconstruct the administrative state. And to back up, the notion here for viewers around the world is that we have a government built on three branches, the legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch. And what had happened in the last 100 years was this fourth illicit branch, kind of called the administrative state, had sprung up, and it had taken powers from these other three. And that was...
No, it doesn't. No. The bureaucracies are created by the executive branch. So they're part of the executive branch.
Never talk about this. So almost like it's an anti-democratic thing. People vote for these people. Exactly. They're doing what they want to do without support. What about for Elon Musk, though?
Well, they absolutely did, in the sense that he got behind President Trump. He went out and stood on stage in the rallies, and he was very public in his support.
But that's not the same as voting for somebody.
Well, certainly.
And the Department of Efficiency isn't an act. It's not like the Department of Education or the Department of Defense, right? I mean, it's
like he's a consultant to the president. He's an advisor to the president. So ultimately, he was not empowered, but to make the decisions, the cabinet secretary.
Yeah, sounds like the bureaucracies that were also in subservience of Donald Trump as well, or no, of the president of the United States as well, or more specifically of the executive branch for the people. So sounds like what Elon Musk was doing was a part of the administrative state. That's what it sounds like. I mean, there's no consistency when it comes to MAGA, so I'm not surprised.
These are those who are confirmed. Yeah. But look, most of the staff the president has is advisory in nature.
So, but if you're against big tech oligarchs, who, if not Elon Musk, would qualify as a big tech oligarch?
Well, big tech oligarchs, like everybody else, have a chance to come home and like correct their ways
and stop being big tech oligarchs.
Well, they are. Many of these oligarchs are extremely talented people, in the main. But the system, I believe, over time has allowed them to accrete too much wealth. It's very important.
How much wealth does Elon Musk have, though?
Well, I'm saying we probably have some common ground on this. But to be clear, these folks make the pie larger for all of us.
But that's a different issue. You specifically have an issue with unelected bureaucrats.
Yeah.
And this guy was unelected and ran a government office that was created. That's bureaucracy. You're against elites. He's the richest person in the world and a big tech oligarch. He's amassing power and he owns X. Tesla, would you at least acknowledge that maybe, just maybe, you're making an exception for Elon Musk, that this guy, he clearly satisfies the conditions for all the things you were criticizing before?
What's critical about Elon Musk is that he's focused his resources almost in a selfless manner. And certainly he's extremely wealthy now. He was extremely wealthy, but no.
So keep in mind, this is happening. This video dropped before Elon Musk created the America Party and left Doge and all that stuff. And the guy Marc Lamont Hill is talking to is the former director of Project 2025. So basically what he's saying is, I'm against big tech oligarchs unless they help me and my cause and the person that I am allegiant to. Basically, I'm actually mad because big tech oligarchs are not serving me. I'm actually a fucking hypocrite. Don't actually care about anything that I fucking say. I just want more power. And I want Donald Trump, which what Project 2025 was made for, to also have more power. That's the truth. That is the reality of all of this. Let's be honest.
I mean, it's reportedly gave up a quarter of his net worth. Now he's extraordinary net worth; it makes no difference. But he took his time away from his personal pursuits and volunteered for the government and did this.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of the promise of Project 2025: that there are talented people all over the country that need to kind of put down and their tools and
Talented people, talented, white, Christian, conservative, MAGA. I'm surprised he's talking to a black dude.
their careers in common service.
I'm trolling. Fuck no, I'm not trolling. Fuck yeah, I am trolling. Or
Public
am
life,
I?
and
Am I
make this
trolling?
government better. So
Project 2025 proposes creating barriers to social programs, including healthcare, food assistance, and housing, while completely eliminating low-income early childhood education programs, I think specifically like Head Start, also giving tax breaks to wealthy households. How do you make sense of these measures in light of this argument made by Project 2025 advocates like yourself that this is going to help everyday working class Americans?
Well, I don't agree with the characterization about barriers. I know. Look, my family came from nothing. My dad grew up in a housing project 2 miles from here in Alfred East.
I don't give a fuck what your family's gone through. I don't give two shits what your family gone through. Doflamingo from One Piece, he came from a rich and successful family. Then he went and became more poor, and now he's evil. So it's like, I don't give a fuck what your background is at all.
Smith. So when I was a senior at MIT, I moved my family to an underclass.
So one of the proposals is to cut food assistance, but specifically to reform the SNAP program to add a new set of requirements around work. Is that fair? Is that accurate?
Well,
like I said before, a lot of what's in Project 2025, guess where a lot of that is in right now? I'll let you think about it. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. Big, beautiful bill. Yeah, a lot of the things in Project 2025, you guessed it. It's in the big, beautiful bill. Let's be very clear about that.
It's many things. One is, like, if you look at the nature of our food, and I think this is what Bobby Kennedy, and this is part of the whole movement, it's not the healthiest food in the world. We need to be a much healthier country, and that's the promise of Maha. So it's in large measure making sure what we're.
Yeah, so instead of sugar, well, what are they? They took out some ingredient, and now we should use cane sugar and eat bone marrow. Fuck you. How about that? What about the measles crisis? I thought we were supposed to be healthy. How is measles and people getting measles and dying from measles, how is that the largest that's happened since measles was annihilated from vaccines? This is the worst measles have been since early 2000s. You know whose fault it is? That bitch ass RFK Jr. who doesn't believe in vaccines. Because 98% of people who are dying or getting infected by measles, they are anti-vax. Just saying.
Subsidizing is better for us to even eat in the first place. But two, the work requirements are fair. We want to make sure that people
So
are.
before you could just get the access, and now there's something in front of it, a work requirement that stops you from getting it.
I believe that was in existence. There's various
Well,
forms of
that's
work
not true.
requirements.
This was re-implementing the requirement. It had existed once before under previous administration. It was gone. Now they're adding this thing that you have to do before you access the stuff. It's called a barrier. How does getting rid of price controls on prescription drugs encourage people to work harder and make their lives easier?
The price control, our big pharma thing is so broken. Most of the commercials you see today are being paid for by big pharma. Those are ultimately being paid for by you, the consumer, when you go and buy those drugs. The nature of it is that the entire thing needs to be retooled.
No, but that's not what was done. You're familiar, I'm sure, with the Inflation Reduction Act, which created a drug price negotiation program in Medicare. Basically, the government established price controls for prescription drugs, so people wouldn't have to pay too much for drugs. That's been repealed. That means that there are no price controls. That means the drugs prices can go up without any controls. How does that help working class or middle class people?
Well, I'm not sure that's the case.
Yo, Marc Lamont Hill is cooking the shit out of this guy. He is filet mignon, flambeing, grilling and broiling, baking it at 350 degrees. This mother effer. He's getting pig roasted. Good job, little piggy. Or big piggy. Big piggy.
certainly Trump has done a lot with bringing down drug prices, insulin prices. And, part of the funny thing about being Project 2025 is I'm getting quizzed on a 900-page book.
No, I'm just pulling an example.
He did this in the first term. We can back up and point out the various successes. But believe me, he's going about reconstructing this whole system. It's not going to happen overnight. But, that he's been clear that this is not an attack on entitlements. And the left has framed this as taking things away.
But I'm just giving two examples. Reforming the SNAP program. We've talked about the drug prices, getting rid of the Head Start program. How's it getting rid of the Head Start program help anybody?
Well, again, with the SNAP, the other thing to realize is that when you have 20 million kind of undocumented people march into the country, you're going to overload a lot.
Oh my God, the narratives. You know what? We're only getting rid of it because all those fucking brown people that is coming in the country that are taking jobs from Americans. That honestly, every single one of them is a criminal that beats up little kids. That we're taking it from them. So we're actually helping you. We're saving you. Like, yeah, the poor people that are Americans who can't afford these programs, you might be losing it too. But like, what about that undocumented immigrant? Like, come on. That undocumented immigrant, they're more of an issue. This is a great sales pitch, man.
Of these social provisions, and that makes it much harder to even administrate in the first place.
No, but I mean, literally, food stamp benefits went up, and now they're being repealed. They're dropping down, so people literally will have less money for food.
Well, the amount of food, the point was that they were giving these food stamps away to illegal aliens coming in and basically offering people free food, free everything, free phones, free credit cards.
So this motherfucker is just lying. Shout out Marc Lamont. Hell, I'm not gonna react to all of it, but I mean, he's cooking it. He's doing a great job. The video honestly deserves more views, but MAGA. You know what pisses me off? You left-wing motherfuckers who do not support the people who are cooking Donald Trump. MAGA, they might be cult-brained. They're finally realizing and waking up. That third eye growing ever so slightly ever since the whole Epstein stuff, but they are so willing to support their own, whereas you lefties just be bitching and never support your own. Bro, you know what I hate? The people who say that they're for the people but never support the people who are trying to better everybody else. It's only their proposition that works. Let me chill. I'm shitting on the left right too much. Let's focus. Let's redirect. Video's good. Go check it out. Marc Lamont Hill killed it.